And then RL, it's main event time.
Wow.
As it's a number one contendership shot at Full Gear against Hangman Page on the line in Samoa Joe versus Hook versus Bobby Lashley versus the world's wildest man, Ricochet. You just have to
You have to show some love.
show some love.
Show some love.
Darby and Ricochet are not similar wrestlers, and even in the way that they are so adept at taking punishment in the matches, they're not very similar. Like I feel like Ricochet is like bouncy and jokier in the way he does it, and maybe less full speed or whatever words you'd use to differentiate them. But they have in common that they approach these matches with a willingness to do what needs doing and not worry about much, because I just thought Ricochet, he's like, all right, some guys will go backstage, you're like planning on a match in a multi-man match, and it's like, okay, here's my spot, here's my spot, here's my spot. I feel like Ricochet goes back there, he's like, what do you have to do to me? What do you have to do to me? What do you have to do to me?
And the other thing that he does is, okay, when you do that to him, I'm gonna come in and do an insane flip. Right?
Or the nicest, cleanest shooting star press you've ever seen.
Unbelievable. I was just like, they should use that one to animate for video games. That's how nice that one was, man. It was unreal.
Other folks in this match, Joe, of course, steady Eddie, almost playing more babyface than I was imagining. Like he does like the dusty jab and these sort of moments, but I don't know that you can even really call that some sort of lapse in judgment. Like what's he gonna do? Samoa Joe's reaction is set in stone. There's very little he could do to affect his reception one way or the other. So.
He could do the MJF, like slap a drink out of a kid's hand in the front row, and people would be like, yeah, that kid probably said something to Joe, though, right?
Joe's gonna kill you. And chanting at the kid. But I want to know your take here, RL, on Hook in this match. Sort of where I was talking about the women's tag tournament, sort of things coming out in the wash. This is a really high-end main event, to my estimation, laid out with, at a minimum, whatever you didn't enjoy this match, a lot to remember in this match. What did you think of Hook in this match, RL?
He was pretty good. I mean, like, they didn't give him a ton of offense. Like, he had a couple of suplexes and things like that. I think it makes a lot of sense where it's like, hey, you weigh like 200 pounds and you're in the ring with Bobby Lashley and Samoa Joe. You're getting the shit beat out of you. And he was like, no problem. That makes perfect sense to me. So I didn't mind him in this match at all. Like, I don't think he did a lot of the Hook stuff where I'm just like, we got the striking, and
he's got rid of the punches from behind, which I think just that subtraction
that, and when he gets the guy in the corner and he's like going like this,
still
like,
does that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did he do it in this match though? I don't know that I noticed him do it. Yeah,
I don't think he had any barely. I don't think he did offense besides suplex and the Red Rum in this match.
And I think that totally makes sense. That, like, again, in the storyline, Joe would be like, well, I'm gonna try to choke out this little kid, you know, and same with Bobby Lashley. I'm just gonna beat up this little kid and try to get him in the hurt lock. That all made perfect sense to me. And so, you know, they didn't really take him out of his comfort zone necessarily. Like, they didn't ask him to wrestle Samoa Joe's style or you know, anything like that. He wasn't hitting the mat. But I thought he was totally good in this role. And I think it's maybe the first time we've ever really seen him in a role like this, where like he was just kind of getting pushed around for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think that you're right on all those fronts. I think that I was maybe expecting him to stand out as a level below in a more dramatic way. Like you say, he wasn't the most active participant in this match. I would definitely go to Ricochet, but I was kind of surprised how Hook didn't, for a point of comparison. In my mind, Nick Wayne is leagues above Hook.
Yeah, and absolutely.
Is, if you're, who's the guy after Kyle Fletcher, whatever, like Nick Wayne is somebody that I'd really be considering. With that said, I think there's a chance Nick Wayne would have felt much smaller than Hook out there tonight in terms of surrounded by that star. Here's Bobby Lashley, here's Samoa Joe, like you're saying, like really some world champions in every fed they've been in, this sort of thing. And I thought a Hook, I'm not saying he should be in singles against these guys or challenging for the world title, but I don't think he looked like the obvious pin guy that he absolutely was in this match. And that's a credit to him, because certainly at other points in time I would have said, what the hell's Hook doing here? So maybe it's coming along.
Yeah, and I think it's about with any young, relatively inexperienced wrestler, it's about putting guys in a position to succeed. And they put him in there. You don't have to like Bobby Lashley as a worker. Like, you don't have to have like a long list of Bobby Lashley or Ricochet matches that you really like, because I certainly don't. But these guys, all three of these guys in their own way, are incredibly steady hands. The floor on all of their matches is incredibly high relative to, obviously Samoa Joe has just like 8 of the 100 best matches of all time minimum, right? So that's a different thing. But like Ricochet, he's not gonna like have bad, he's gonna have matches you maybe don't like stylistically, but like it's not gonna be badly performed, right? And same with Bobby Lashley. He does one thing and he does it really well.
Well, yeah, and so I think and I like that there can be different versions of being like the steady hand, and we can bring different looks to him in that way, where it's okay, you stand here, do this. I will say, to the Ricochet point there, you think of that old adage, I think it was first said about Ric Flair, where it's like, okay, who would be the best at going out there and wrestling a broom? Or, we have Yoshihiko for sort of a modern example of that.
Yeah.
But you would have to say, in like modern wrestling, like a guy who can hit that gear, that isn't even my favorite one that they do, but like a Ricochet or Will Ospreay would have to be the person that you would most think that of at this point.
Totally.
And not that Hook is far from a broom, although they both are sort of long and thin and have a big hair thing. but something really like Ricochet, while his style could seem very intimidating if you want to meet him on his level, as you stand there and bump and I'll wrestle around you, like he knows how to do that. Like that is a borderline automatic for him. So you're absolutely right in that sense. But I really thought this main event was something to see. I got super into it. For whatever reason, I had sort of talked myself into Bobby Lashley having a small chance winning. And ultimately, when I saw the finishing, as soon as Ricochet got Bobby Lashley's attention on the apron, I was like, okay, it is.
Okay, ball game's over for sure. No, what I liked about this is I thought there was, apart from Hook, there was a really good argument for all three of these guys to be in the main event at a pay-per-view. Bobby Lashley, the look speaks for itself, if not even beyond the resume. And if you want to like take him out of the Hurt Syndicate business, because he came out alone, I thought was notable, and so if you wanted to take him out of the Hurt Syndicate like universe for a minute and just have him be Bobby Lashley, I thought that's a totally credible Hangman opponent. And when Hangman beats him, that would feel like a big deal because he's never been beaten in AEW. Or pinned, I guess you would say.
And if I'm Tony Khan, I'm kind of interested in what Bobby Lashley does as a main eventer in terms of pay-per-view numbers. Like, I would not be surprised if Bobby Lashley actually sells. I'm not saying it puts them to the $200,000 mark or anything.
Sure.
But if Bobby Lashley sells another 5,000, 7,500 pay-per-views, that wouldn't be shocking to me. Over whoever loves Samoa Joe is buying an AEW pay-per-view anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Totally, yeah. And again, Samoa Joe, it speaks for itself. But I was a little surprised that Joe won just because they just did it. And people liked it but didn't love it.
Yeah. They really... Brian said on Hire Brian this week that he really hopes they add a Texas Death stip to it, because Joe and Texas Death is
kind of they just did Texas Death is the only thing with that,
But
so
if you want to make it Hangman Stip, that's okay.
Sure. But I just think maybe they want to run it back because it was 20 minutes and not the main on the last pay-per-view. Is kind of what I'm thinking.
I also feel that. And it's just this NFL time of year where it's like, we're going to double up on this one.
And then Ricochet, he's got two huge guys with him. And so that creates a credible threat to Hangman, even if you would say Ricochet on his own does not, So it all made sense to me. Anybody winning, I'm happy Joe won. Great, another 25-minute Samoa Joe match. What am I going to fucking complain about,
Couldn't be us.
No. I love that.
Now, post-match, a little bit of awkwardness as Tony Schiavone enters the ring with the mic. Samoa Joe's calling for a mic. It was a Dynamite Fright Night or something tonight for Halloween. Indeed. So they had a dressed up cow, chicken, ghost, and Michelin Man, which of course is a history of Hangman Page being in the Michelin Man.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, Michelin Man.
Come on. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That's my bad. And They go, and Samoa Joe signals to Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs, who are now out at his sides. I don't trust them, and just tells them to blindly attack all the mascots. This rules, very Samoa Joe-esque. And then, who's left but the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? The crowd thinks this is Hangman. I think this is Hangman. They pull off. It's not Hangman. This guy catches an ass kicking too. Samoa Joe gets the mic. But RL, the man with the mic, is not Tony Schiavone. The man with the mic is, in fact, Hangman Adam Page. This got a big pop out of me. I'm just going to tell you. He whips off the wing and hits the buckshot lariat. This was a come alive moment for me. I thought this justified the extremely weird timing and framing of it all. Did you see this coming, RL? Could you tell this was? I feel stupid. I can't believe I couldn't tell this was Hangman Page.
So when Schiavone leaves the ring and then he's talking, but you can't see him, I'm like, okay, I got it. Really good shit. I was at the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Dynamite. That was in Boston, however long ago that was, 4 years ago now. And that was another one where, as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is walking to the ring, I'm like, I know who walks like that, you know. But so like I appreciated he's kind of a master of disguise, this Hangman Adam Page. He can be anybody. He blends into a crowd seamlessly, you know.
Totally true. Totally.
And what I really like about this is because Schiavone did that voiceover so that Hangman could attack Joe. Tony Schiavone's getting his fucking ass beat next week, man. If they don't follow that up, if Shibata isn't just like beating the dog shit, like just choking out Tony Schiavone to open Dynamite, I don't know what we're doing here, man.
Katsuyori Shibata hitting a PK on Tony Schiavone. Only possible in history in 2025 AEW.
That would be unreal. Oh, you helped Adam Page hit me. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, he hits him with the like breakaway glass bottle.
Yeah.
Joe legitimately had like cuts on his head from that.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I was like, this is the best, man. So Joe, he should come out with a big fucking bandage on his head. I don't like this, Siobhan. You know, all this. Easy to choke this guy out. Coquina clutch, guillotine choke, torture rack maybe from Powerhouse Hobbs.
That could maybe get Joe some
There's
heat.
a lot to think about.
Maybe get Joe some heat. Schiavone's a sympathetic figure.
Anybody puts their hands on Schiavone, instant like it's like when Hangman hit Prince Nana with the chair.
Yeah.
People were like, we liked Hangman before. You can't hit Prince Nana.
Nana,
you can't hit him.
Can we have Nana on TV even though Swerve's off?
They're saying Swerve back soon. Like December, January, I thought I heard.
Okay, before I see Swerve, I want to see Nana. Send Nana as the flag that Swerve's coming. Be like the week before, It's I Swerve when I drive, and I was like, I got great news. PrinceNanaCoffee.com. Hey, thanks for checking out that video. Next step, hit follow down below. Step after that, head over to twitch.tv/WrestlingBrain. We're live every Monday and Wednesday and on pay-per-view weeks, or just when we feel like talking about wrestling. It's many more shows than that. You can hit follow over there to be alerted every time we go live. If you need even more, patreon.com/J0SHC has a free tier and a paid tier. Check those out and see if any suit you fine. We'll see you then, and like Hiroshi Tanahashi says, love and energy.